some good, exciting players in the likes of, Dylan Douglas, Otniel Lewis, even Captain Maloney, and the experience of Salvan that he can call upon. And you even when I am out there, umpiring, I can see the likes of Dylan Douglas is very influential on the field. The captain tend to feed off him a lot in terms of some of the decisions that they are making. So it's good to see young players like him is getting involved, and he understand the game and understand what is required at certain stage. But Warwican is a good planner, and he will put specific plans in place. And so far, from what we are seeing, that the team is carrying out the plans. Your good buddy Benetton Stapleton, he has been given a really good opportunity to bowl more in this edition, and he's proven his worth. Bowling really well in very important stages of the game. So it's really going well for them, but you cannot write off any team in this tournament because it's a short format and we have some really quality teams. They're just not really getting it all together just yet. And who knows what can happen in the business end of the tournament.
Well, we will want to see what will happen just as we return from the break. We will bring you live action from the Annesville playing field here from the Dream 11 VPL 3.0 from the Ashes here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. to the Arnorsville playing field here in St. Vincent, and the Grenadines will be bringing you match number 16 of the VPL Dream 11 3.0. It will be the Grenadine Divers, the guys in blue, taking on the Lassafree Hikers, a synonymous name here in St. Vincent. We still have the Butler with us here, and the Lassafree, if you have just joined us, the Lassafree Hikers, they have lost the toss. So the Grenadine Divers, they decide that they will take a bat. And it will be interesting to see the approach of Caden Ned and Shembrong going into this affair. Butler, what total do you think that the Grenadine Divers should be looking to defend?
I think the Grenadine Divers, they should be looking at a target of minimum 90. It's very important that they calculate the pitch, the way the pitch is playing. This center pitch has been the pitch that has been the most low scoring. The two end pitches the ball has been coming on a lot more. But this pitch, the spinners have gotten a lot more purchase from it. So it's important that you don't set, no unrealistic target like 110 and 120, but set a target that is, attainable in terms of 90. And if you set about getting to 90, what you will find is that you will put yourself in a position where you can maximize that 90 and get it to 100. But if you set about looking for 120, you could find yourself just trying to hang on to get to 70.
Well, interestingly enough, so we will see Caden Ned and Shembrong. We saw the last time the matchup with the Dark Explorers and the Grenadine Divers. The Explorers use spin to curtail the opening stand of Shembrong because of the more like the pace onto the bat. What do you think should be the approach here of Captain Maloney? Should he open with his normal duo that he starts with, or he should start with the pace?
Well, I expect Maloney to take a cue from the previous matches. I think, as you would have mentioned, that view, I think, is the team that started that strategy of using as many spinners as possible in their inning on this center pitch. As we can see, he's right away. He's going to start with Javid Harry, the left arm spinner, and we expect from this other end here, the commentary, the television booth end, that he will be starting with Lewis. So we expecting to see a lot of spin. The divers, they are going to have to understand where are they scoring areas, but at the same time, keep rotating the strike and don't get bogged down.
Well, and the resilience of the players coming out of the volcanic eruption, they seem to be now not somewhat get that behind their back, but they are ready for cricket at any given day when they are up to play.
Yeah, exactly. When you would have gone through any crisis, sports is one of the best form of release for you to really free up yourself. And many of these guys love cricket, I am sure, and they're happy to be out there in the middle, doing what they love best. So that no wonder we are seeing some exciting cricket so far.
So Javid Harry will open the bowling for the Lassafree Hikers from the administrative center end. So here's the first ball. So Brong is off the mark. Short delivery, pull to backward square. There's scamper 2 for 1, which brings Caden Ned into strike.
Yeah, Harry, what he looks to do usually is to push the ball through, look to bowl as many arm balls as possible. But this is a pitch where you as a spinner, you want to slow it up a bit and give the ball a chance to grip and get some bounce and turn. But that is not Javid game, so he will still be looking to bowl tight by pushing the ball through.
we saw left arm bowler Javan Samuel from the Sorpan Breakers. He comes in and he slows it up and he extract turn from the track. Do you think this is a approach that Javik should take? He's bowled him. Cadenhead looking to swing that one over the mid-wicket region. A delivery that struck straight into the centre stump, and the Grenadine Divers have lost their first wicket.
Yeah, I think Javed decided that he's going to stick to his strength, his comfort zone, which is pushing the ball through. That one was a good length ball, not a short ball for Ned to pull, but he was looking to pull that one. What we would have seen in this tournament so far with the Annisville square being completely relayed is that there is a bit more pace in the pitches. So when you actually think that you have time to go back on that back foot and pull, you don't have as much time as you really think.
But would you say that the batsmen, they are somewhat outplayed? Because whether you're a spinner, that ball will just push through. It's a new ball. It's hard. It has not done much. It's just 3 balls, and that ball will come straight onto you. It will skid on because Harry's not spinning that ball.
Exactly. You want to be looking to push that ball more or less down the ground and get your innings going, because the ball is not going to bounce much. It's not going to turn because Harry is pushing the ball through. So you want to, these guys have more time than they really think, you know.
So Captain Hooper comes into the crease, and the first delivery, well played past Maloney there at the mid-on region, and it goes for 4. Whitish mid-on, sorry.
Well, that's a good stroke by Hooper. That ball was a bit fuller from Harry. And Hooper just hitting through the line of that delivery and bisecting the cover, the man at cover and the mid off, and that one sped away to the boundary. Good shot by Hooper, and you're gonna see Hooper looking to play a bit straighter than what we saw from Cadenhead a while ago.
So a mixed bag, we will say over, wicket 4. So some 5 runs so far of the over, 5 for 1 the Grenadine Divers. They will look to reconcile this inning so far. So it's the end of the first over. The Grenadine Divers, they are 6 for 1.
Yeah, good start from the Hikers. They would have been hoping to get all the wickets, because the opening pair for the Grenadine Divers in the last few encounters, they would have been very productive. So getting a wicket in the first over, that's a good start for the Hikers. But I'm sure Captain Asif, with all his experience, and Shembrong, who have some runs under his belt so far with a half century, will be looking to build a foundation and set about the target that they would have, put plans to set about to get.
So it's Atney Lewis. He will take up from the commentary booth end here. Very hot day here in St. Vincent. That time of the season, not too far from the hurricane season. So it will be stinging hot here. And a good day here for cricket. Even though there are some clouds around, it speaks not of rain, but boy, it's still hot. So Hooper and Butler, who do you see will rebuild this innings as Hooper gets out of that way? A dead ball signaled there by umpire Maria.
Yeah, we saw the bails at the strikers and fell before the bowler delivered that ball, so that's why it was a dead ball. But Hooper and Lewis, they play for the same team locally, so this is a good matchup. Let's see how they're gonna go about it.
Swing and a miss. And Hooper is more of a player who will rebuild innings, but he appears to be one to capitalize still on the power play. Along with the PU.
Yeah. You see Lewis looking to bowl it slower. You know, Lewis is usually looking to push the ball through, but he's slowing it up a bit, not giving Asif any pace to work with, because he realized that the pitch is gripping a bit, so he's bowling it a lot slower. And let's see how Asif is going to counteract that, because it's going to be a battle of the wills here, you know.
So the balls have been coming in from some serious battering from the wind. The wind is blowing across the ground, very strong, and you will have intermittent interruptions because of the bill falling from the stumps. So good going so far by Lewis. That happens to be 4 dot balls in the over. Singles should be something that Captain Hooper should be looking for.
Yeah, definitely. You have to rotate the strike. You know, especially your batting left and right combination. It's important that the strike is rotated.
This one is cut away, well fielded, and not only for the left and right combination, but Shembrown, he has been in some form, and you would want him to face as much deliveries as possible.
Exactly. Shem has been one of your form batsmen, so you want to get him on strike as early as possible. You know, you don't want him to spend too long at the non-strikers and getting frustrated, you know, watching that ball after that ball. And when he gets on strike, he's going to think that he has to do so much, you know, by manufacturing big shots, and then, you know, that could probably be his downfall. So you want to rotate the strike early.
Well, this one is cut. What a magnificent take by Maloney in the cover region. A delivery that was cut powerfully, and boy, the Grenadine Divers lost Shembrown in the second over.
Now we have seen the odd catch put down, but one thing we have seen in this edition for a bunch of guys who have not been playing much cricket, it's some excellent feeling, some tremendous catches. I mean, and this one is right up there at the top, you know, in terms of top catches in this tournament. And it makes a lot of difference when you're taking your catches. When you're confident, you tend to do things that, you know, the ordinary cricket player won't do. You know, so that's what success brings, you know.
Well, what a tremendous catch that was. A diving effort there by Maloney, captain, setting that pace or setting that example in the field, and it puts the Grenadine Divers on a back foot per se. At the end of the second over, 7 for 2, which brings Kevin Abraham to the crease. The current run rate of 3.5 for the guys in the blue.
But this is what dot balls do, you know, because Asif would have bat those dot balls all in the over. You know, Brown figuring that he has to. Yeah, that first delivery from Javid, you know, Asif Hooper is defensive to it. But Brown thinking that he has to force it a bit more because runs is not coming.
So Harry seems to be keeping it on a tight line that they would have planned, and Hooper is some 6 from 10 deliveries. And we know that Hooper at some point will have to up the tempo once he's there, and he have to take the ball by the horn. Would you see a situation where the new batsman that is coming in will appear as if he will have to take up that mantle?
No, I think what the Grenadine Divers need to do from here is to build an inning. You know, those dot balls, they need to cut down on the dot balls, rotate the strike. Once you rotate the strike, you can build a momentum from there and maximize the bad deliveries that you're going to get.
This one is down the leg side. We'll wait for the umpire's decision. And runs is given. So Kevin Abraham gets off the mark with 4 runs. A magnificent shot down the leg side. There's a short fine, but that one evades him very quickly. And the Grenadine Divers 4 more to their account.
Now this is what you're going to get from Harry. He's going to look to angle the ball into the right hander. So with the strong wind.
A glorious cover drive there from Abraham. It reached just onto the rope, and fast sprinter Benetton recovers that one just inches away from the rope, and they come back for 2.
That's the type of player that Abraham is. You know, he's a bit of a touch player. He will look to stroke the ball through the gaps, and hopefully, if he is there to the end, then he will look to maximize and look to hit the 6s. You know. But this is what they need to do, build a momentum, you know, in terms of their innings. Get the ball moving around in the field.
And there would have to be a bowler that you will target. We see Lewis bowler a very first good over. This over, the second over here for Harry. At the end of the over number 3, they are 15 without loss. And they have to pick somebody. Who do you see or foresee that they will look to attack?
Well, you have to look and see. The Pacers, I think, might be easier to score off. It's not to say that the pitch is overly difficult, but it's a pitch where you really have to put your head down and actually play cricket. You know, cricket shots. It's not, you can't go out there and expect to slug your way out of trouble. You have to watch the ball long and stroke the ball in the gaps. And if you can build that momentum, as we saw from Hooper yesterday, then you know you can hit the big shots because you get the pace and the bounce of the pitch, and you can do a lot more. But you have to build that innings. 60 balls is a lot more time than most batsmen are really calculating it to be, if they maximize the singles and stuff like that.
So 15 for 2 in over number 3. After over number 3, some 5 runs per over. Neil Lewis continuing as Abraham gets this one. Can't pass the Dylan Douglas. Very outstanding, astonishing fielder. Our wrong cricketer. And we expect to see Dylan coming on at some time with his off spin. Top edge past the keeper, and a welcome boundary for Abraham again, and the Grenadine Divers 4 runs, and one of the safest shots you could ever play, Butler.
Yeah, but there again you see Abraham thinking that he has time to pull that ball, but that extra pace and bounce that the bowlers are getting from this newly released square, you know, surprising the batsman, and the ball was onto him before he was ready to really play that shot. But a very productive shot in the end. You know, 4 runs is welcome. I'm sure Grenadine Divers will be hoping for a few more of those balls running past the boundary ropes.
So as we continue to see that the Bills really coming in for some devastating blows from the wind, and Abraham is now 11 from 5 deliveries, something that the Grenadine Divers will really relish at this point. But Captain Hooper, he will have to do more of the rotating of the strike.
Yeah, I think the groundsmen are going to have to look seriously at probably filing out the groove of the stumps a bit more, because the wind is very strong here at the Annisville playing field. Lovely shot.
Glorious shot. He just gave himself that extra touch of room and was able to get that past the man there, and he got 4 more. A tremendous shot there from Abraham.
Yeah, there is a lot of value out there for playing with a vertical bat. That was a lovely shot. Bisect the cover on the mid-off, and that one never leave the ground. It's a glorious shot, really. And this is what we come to expect of Kevin Abraham. He's a very good touch player.
This one beating the outside edge. And is there a standard that you made mention that the groove of the stump should be filed somewhere? Is there a standard that it should be? Well, dead ball signaled by the umpire. I actually thought that once he was bowled, but the umpire signaled dead ball.
I think the bails probably fell off before the ball was bowled.
There you go.
So good call from the umpire, Maria Abbott. Good call.
Very vigilant.
What happened is that because of the constant pounding of the top of the stumps, the groove tends to get shallower and shallower because the top of the stumps tend to go further and further down. So occasionally you just need to open it up a bit, file it out maybe, so that the bails can fit properly.
Another delivery beating the outside edge of the bat. It appears that Abraham is looking to still get the ones and twos because the open face that he's playing with. This time he plays a more straighter bat. Would you say that Abraham's timing is as a result of his bat lift? Because different batsmen have different approach and different style in batting, but his bat lift is one that is coming somewhere from just about halfway of just above his shoulder, and he missed that ball something of a full length. Does that give him enough time to read the ball off the pitch?
Yeah, I think what you can see from Abraham is he has good hands in terms of he's not gripping the bat too tight. He's very relaxed in his stroke play. So as a result, he allows the ball to come onto the bat and just caress the ball a lot more. His back lift is not that high that he's looking to hit sixes just yet, but you can see he's just looking to stroke the ball in those gaps. But we would have seen from Lois you can see he would have worked on his game a bit, because we see he developed this delivery now where he's getting the ball to drift ever so nicely away from the right-handers. Where Abraham was looking for that ball to come straight on, but it just kept drifting away from him. Those two balls that beat his outside edge. But it's good cricket. Abraham is looking to build a momentum, and I'm sure Captain Asif Hooper and Coach Ian Allen will be hoping that he can continue on and take this innings as deep as possible.
So Bennington Stapleton comes into the attack, not a start that he would relish. And at the end of the power play, the Grenadine Divers 24 for 2. At the end of the power play, 24 for 2. Hooper is still at the crease, Captain Hooper, and Abraham is there with the skipper. 16 from 9 deliveries, as we see Stapleton taking up the administrative center in attack. And it will be interesting to see how he takes up from the bowlers who have started very well. Well, this is his second white, so not a really good tidy start that he would relish at this time.
Well, immediately you can see the plan for Bennington Stapleton is to bowl outside off stump and let the batsman hit against the wind. But the first delivery that was a wide, it was very close to being a no ball, almost pitched completely off the pitch of the ball.
And another wide, so 3 consecutive wides. And you made mention that it appears that the plot is to bowl wide. Now Abraham, if I'm not too wrong, he took a leg stump guard with the spin. It appears that he is now batting a middle leg and he's not moving across to that. So if there is any connection to the bat, the third man comes into play and the man out on the sweeper boundary.
Now, Abraham is a player. He likes to be leg side of the ball when he's driving. But as a batsman, when you recognize that the line of attack to you is wide of the off stump, what you probably want to do is to maybe take a middle and off stump guard and force the bowler to go even wider of the of the wicket and bring those wides into play. And then he becomes a bit more frustrated and bowl closer to you.
So you left and right combination really throwing the ball in the offline, another wide down the leg side, and the Grenadine Divers are 29 for 2, and that's 4 extras so far in this over.
Immediately we are seeing the value of rotating the strike. You know, left-hander comes into the strike and a wide down the leg side. There are 4 runs from the 4 extras from the over already.
Much straighter delivery to Hooper, and Hooper will not want to get Abraham standing on the non-striker end for too long. We see that when Shem went, because the ball, as soon as Shem came on to strike, he struck one straight to cover, which was beautifully taken.
Yes, with mid-wicket open, he should be getting a single there easy.
Great shot. Tremendous shot there. That one had some width on it, and he stood tall and dispatched that past the short third man and the point boundary for 4.
Well, when you had that ball, the ball before, and you hit a boundary the next ball, then you would have more or less make up for that. But the next delivery is what is important. How you approach that delivery. It's important that you don't give the bowler the chance to come back and get that ball in, or even a wicket, but keep that scoring going now. You know, at least rotate the strike.
This one he pegged it to mid wicket, feel out there, cleans it up. So it's a bit of pressure here on Benetton. He has been bowling well for the series, and you made mention of it earlier on when we started our proceedings. He is in his element. He's bowling just as a captain, but this over is a bit untidy, nothing to speak ill of, but the Grenadine Divers will look to capitalize. A dead ball signal there by the umpire.
Falling again at the strikers end.
And the bails falling so often. What as an umpire yourself, what would you recommend since the game has started?
Well, the only other option the umpires have at the moment, they can dispense of the bails and play without the bails. But that's the last resort.
This one is in the air, and it just dropping short, well, in no man's land, I should say, not short, dropping in no man's land. A delivery that's dug into the turf, short of a length, and Abraham not having enough time, but was able to get that one in no man's land safely. Again, down the leg side. Captain Hooper will feel that he missed out on that one.
Yeah, with fine leg up in the circle, you will feel like you would have missed out, you know. But nonetheless, he gets a wide. He's still there. He has 2 deliveries still remain in the over, and this over has given them some momentum that they will be hoping to capitalize on.
This one is swinging out to the mid-wicket region.
Yeah, this is the reason why I still think that, you know, 80 and 90 has to be at your target, because it is not a pitch where the ball is going to be coming on. When you compare it, that is to the other 2 pitches, it's not coming on as well. So you have to look to maximize those singles.
Well, so we're seeing Dylan Douglas. He's coming from the commentary booth end. Dylan Douglas around the wicket. Over cuts that one out to the sweeper. And it will be interesting to see how Dylan bowls to Abraham in this contest.
I think Dylan is going to look to still push the ball through and keep it close to Abraham, asking him to take on the win on the leg side, and for the left-handers he's going to bowl wide of the off stump, protecting one side of the field.
Short of a length, a delivery that is pulled over short fine leg, and he gets the maximum 6 runs to Abraham.
Now we must say that delivery got what it deserved. It was a short, more of a long hop, angling down the leg side, and young Abraham just helped that on its way and maximize. And this is what, the over before would have done. It given them that momentum that they can kick on from here and get a respectable total on the board.
Another short delivery pulled out to the deep square fielder, and they get through. Abraham would somewhat feel that he missed out on that, as you see him rehearsing his shot, but the wing is a factor with that shot.
Exactly, and this is exactly what Dylan is trying to do, is to get him to play on the onside against the wind, hoping that he will hold out to the deep mid-wicket or deep square leg. But so far he has got 7 runs from the 2 deliveries that he would have faced. And you expect him to bowl wide of the off stump to Asif here now, trying to stay away from Asif hitting downwind.
This time pulled it, a short delivery. He made amends with it, and it goes over the top of the mid-wicket bungle for 6 more to the Grenadine Divers. A really good pick-up momentum here for the Grenadine Divers.
Now this is smart batting by Asif. As you would have seen Asif step across his off stump, because he realized that Douglas is looking to bowl him outside off stump, and good execution indeed.
So there goes that bill again. Really been battering here. And as we see the shots, even the shirts for the players are really waving. And it can get very disturbing and frustrating. You as a bowler and as an umpire.
Yeah, as they say, the umpires can decide to dispense of the bails. But what will happen is that once the bails has been dispensed with, for a stump out or run out, all the keeper will have to do, or whoever is effecting the run out, is to just touch the stump, because there's no bail. So and that will mean that the wicket has been broken.
And this time another short delivery. So whether the bills is on or it's off, the result of the shot doesn't change. It goes for 6, and we see Hooper now coming into his element.
Now Douglas, I'm sure, is looking to bowl wide of the off stump, but with the strong wind that is also affecting the bails, it's pushing the ball back into Asif, who's stepping outside that off stump and really maximizing.
Close run, and Camper through for 1. So at the end of the 6th over, a much looking scorecard for the Grenadine Divers. They are 58 for 2. Abraham, he's on 25, and Hooper, he's on 27.
So as you can see, and in this cricket, it's small, very small margins. One thing going wrong can change the complexion of how your innings is going. You see how that over, the previous over, Benetton struggled with his line and gave them that momentum to get back into the game, and now they're at a stage where they can really push on from here and build and get that total of 90 or even close to 100, which will be competitive on this pitch. Although we know that the hikers have a very strong batting lineup, But runs on the board is always very important.
Well, we see Sylvan Spencer. He comes into the attack from the administrative center in a medium pacer. He tends to bowl at line and length. That is somewhat hard to move. So we'll see how he approaches this one. So just somewhat of a good start in comparison to the last 2 overs. And very alert. They get a second.
That was not good cricket from the field on the boundary. Douglas should have made a better throw there, but wicketkeeper Anson Latchman, he still has to do a better job of cleaning up that poor throw. But good alertness showed from Captain Asif, who was frustrated that he didn't. You can see him pointing over cover, saying that that's where that delivery should have gone. But I'm sure he'll be happy to be back on strike.
This time he goes down the ground, long and hard. And well, boy, at one point I thought the spectators in that stand is in mortal danger, but just dropping shy of the spectators. 6 more to the total.
That's a good shot by Asif, getting that front foot out of the way and hitting down the ground. And there's always a lot of value for hitting straight. Now this is what, a small blunder can do. Bring him back on strike. And cause him to maximize, that next delivery. As we see the bails continue to give some trouble. And with this strong wind, I'm sure that, the groundsmen, they're going to have to do something with the bails, with the groove of the stump. I think the umpires are going to decide that they're dispensing of the bails. And as I say, once the bails are dispensed with, in terms of run out and stump out, the keeper or that fielder just need to satisfy the umpire that they touch the wicket.
This time a short delivery, one over the fence, another 6, and really good work here. And Spencer is really put under the pump here because this is the first time for the tournament he's going to bowl.
Well, I think this is the second time. He bowled 1 over in the previous game, if my memory serves me right.
Yep.
But he's under a lot of pressure here. You have Asif, a very skillful batsman, have some momentum going now, getting the big shots, and he's going to be put under a lot of pressure. Let's see if he's going to go to his slow ball, which is one that he has up his sleeve.
Well, rightly called, and Hooper quickly moves on to 42 from 23 deliveries. Abraham is still there, and that impetus that Abraham brought to the run score really catapult Hooper to where he is now.
Exactly, because Abraham came in and he looked to stroke the ball, in the gaps and rotate the strike. That inning set the pace for the Grenadian divers to, pull themselves out of the pressure that was built by the hikers. So this is really good cricket here at the Annesville playing field.
And short of a length, pulled down to the deep square, and we are seeing the alignment here for 100, but the hikers will really need a breakthrough in this partnership.
Yeah, definitely, and I think Abraham will think that he missed out there. That one was a short of a length one that he was hoping that he would have hit with the wind to maximize.
So the fielder that is up in the circle, and at the end of the 7th over, the Grenadian divers, they are 74 for 2.
Yeah, and we saw 16 runs coming from that over, and the momentum is definitely swinging the Grenadian divers' way in terms of what is happening out there at the moment. Captain Asif, leading from in front, but Abraham is playing a very important inning. He has not batted many dot balls since he went in, and that is what I think made a lot of difference in this partnership. The rotation of the strike for the left and right combination, and as we see young OJ Matthews comes into the attack. He's going to look to be pushing the ball through as well. So it's going to be a good contest coming down to the end here. 3 overs to go. I'm sure that Grenadine Divers will be looking to maximize and get past triple figures.
Short delivery, an interesting shot that is, and it goes for 6. Different bowler, same result for the Grenadine Divers, and they really will welcome this at this point.
Now, what you will realize is that this is a top cricket shot. Now, this is a defensive delivery.
And another 6. So Abraham really coming to the party here. Boy, he really taking it to young OJ Matthews. Young or not, you are here to play cricket. You will be disciplined by your seniors.
Now, this is what we spoke about earlier on when we said that this pitch calls for cricket shots. The vertical bat shots are going to give you produce a lot more runs for you. All he's looking to do is to stroke the ball. He has not overhit the ball up to now. It's just timing he's using. And this is really good batting by Kevin Abraham. And really supporting his captain well out there.
And another shot when he would believe that he missed out on that one. So he's 38 from 17.
I'm sure he might be asking himself, why did he change the shot?
Yeah.
Because the same delivery, I'm sure he would have been better off sort of going for the same shot straight back over the long off fielder.
This time he goes down the ground over the cover this time, and 1 bounce into the fence. 4 more. The Grenadine Divers 90 for 2 in over number 8.
Momentum. This is what the cricket is all about. Momentum. Who is going to build that momentum? And this partnership has built a tremendous momentum here for the Grenadine Divers. One that they will hoping that they can finish with a flurry.
Wide and short, he could be taken and goes caught outside the sweeper boundary there, and Abraham goes for 42 from 18 delivery, and the Hikers will be the better team at this time to see the back of Abraham.
Yeah, I think Hikers will be happy for that wicket, but Kevin Abraham will be kicking himself the way he has played those short deliveries. That one didn't get enough baton to it. That one went a bit squarer. He would have been looking to go over straight his cover or long off. But he didn't get enough baton to that one. But a very good inning by Abraham. Helped to put some momentum back into the Grenadine Divers inning. And I'm sure that he will be hoping that they can really kick on from here and get to that 110 or even 115.
Very good shot, very good take there by Neil. Position himself very quickly, and also good shot there from the ITFX camera crew.
We see him as though is young Davian Barnum strolled to the wicket. A good hitter, a good strike of the ball, but he hasn't really got going in any of the editions so far. But on repetition, he's a good striker of the ball, and I'm sure that Captain Asif has faith in him. I can see he was gesturing to send him. So let's see. He has no pressure on him. He just has to execute.
Well, Barnum, first delivery off the mark, slight misfield there by the bowler. So end of the 8th over number 8, 91 for 3. 91 for 3. The Grenadine Divers in a much better position than they are for the first 3.
Yeah, with 12 balls remaining, I'm sure they will be looking at minimum 2 runs per ball, which is 24, which will get them to that 115 also. Yeah, so I'm sure that the hikers will be hoping that these last 2 overs that they can, reduce the scoring of the divers, because as we say, the cricket is all about momentum. So who wants to go into the second? Who is going to go into the second innings with the momentum is going to be the key here.
Well, Stapleton will come back into the attack from the administrative end. He will bowl the penultimate over. He have gone for 13 in his first over, and he will bowl up to Barnum, who is on 1, just coming to the crease. So I expect that he will turn that strike over to his captain. Swing and a miss.
I'm sure Captain Hooper will be hoping that if Barnum is unable to maximize any of these deliveries, that at least he can get some bat onto the ball and turn the strike over to him. If they remain as they are going presently, the projected score is 113. At 12 and over, they will get up to 115, and at 13 and over, they can get up to 117. So let's see where they're going to finish.
Oh, they got some hand to that. I think they will want to get up to that 117 mark, which will be much better and more competitive of a total. But in terms of the VPL, it has really turned out to be very... yes, he got some hand to that one. The spectators and the persons have really looked forward to the VPL, as we see the turnout has been even much better, even during the days of the week.
Yeah, well, we know that there's a lot of cricket lovers north of the country, the northwest and northeast, and many of them would have been, had to evacuate from their homes.
Down the leg side, wide, another extra to the total.
Yeah, so they are very happy to get this opportunity to come and watch some cricket and just take their minds off of what would have transpired a few weeks ago. So they are enjoying the cricket, they are having fun, and the guys are providing great entertainment for them.
The shot is struck straight down the ground past the man there and bisect both fielders, roll into the fence, and Dylan Douglas will be somewhat disappointed about that because he got some hand to it, but in his effort he was not able to hold that one.
Yeah, as you can see, Asif Hooper is really going hard here at the ball, looking to finish off the innings well.
So they struck fiercely. 6 more to Captain Hooper, and that I believe will bring up his 50. Very well played in here by Captain Hooper. I spoke to him earlier on, and he said somebody will have to pay, and I believe this is what he really means when he says somebody will have to pay.
And no better way to bring up both your 50 and bring up the 100 for the team, indeed. And Hooper is really coming to the party for his team here today.
In there, down the ground, it's Captain Maloney settles on it, and he takes the catch, and just after he have just reached his 50, Hooper goes, not disappointing in terms of the score position, but he would have wanted to go on a bit further.
I'm sure he would have wanted to be there for the next 8 deliveries, and if he was there right down to the end, who knows the damage that he would have done to this hikers bowling. But a very good inning so far, well played by Captain Asif Hooper, but we cannot forget that innings played by Abraham in that partnership, and it's really good cricket.
Well, and the enthusiasm in the GRDVSLSH are hot. We see that Grant is the batsman, the new batsman, Mario Grant. He comes to the crease, and he also can build a momentum into the innings, as we see Benetton Stapleton taking that wicket. So he's 1 for 25 from his 1.5, just one more over shy of his 2 allotted overs and one more shy of the 9th over. This one is struck fiercely down the ground, could be taken it is, and Bennington Stapleton ends his spell on a hat trick, and we will have to wait until the next game to see whether or not he will complete that hat trick. It's the second time he's found himself in a hat trick here in a series.
Indeed, but I think Bennington will be counting himself lucky. That one was right in the slot to really maximize and hit out of the ground, but batsman not timing that stroke at all, and the man at long off, Dylan Douglas was not going to drop that straightforward catch. But I'm sure that both teams are going to be looking to finish this game with the momentum. As we see Richie Richards stroll to the crease, and he's on strike for this final over. Let's see what is going to happen here, because both teams will want to finish with the momentum here.
So OJ Matthew continues, and it is something that the hikers will feel like they are in the better position here because two new batsmen is at the crease. That's the first strike that Richards is facing. Grant hasn't really faced any as yet. Well, he's out. He's out. The delivery was extra bounce on it, and he was able to, a very good take there by the keeper, Latchman. It's one of the hardest catch we will get to take as a keeper.
Yeah, that was a sharp catch by Anson. Richards was looking to hit that one over point, but that extra bounce that you get in from these pitches again was the undoing of young Richie Richards.
So just after the fall of Captain Hooper, we're just seeing a downward spiral of the run rate. I'm not too sure what would have been the message coming out to the batsmen. This one is struck fiercely out to the sweeper. So Harry is off the mark.
Yeah, the new batsman is Javid Williams, and immediately he's off the mark.
Javid Harry and Javid Williams.
Yeah.
So Williams this is. So brings Grant into strike. So Grant goes down the ground. One jumping shot, and they're coming back for two. Slight misfield there by Stapleton. Unacceptable in terms of the standard that the hikers have.
I'm sure the Grenadine Divers will be disappointed that one of their set batsmen is not there to the end.
Grant pull this one out to Lewis. A very good field there. He got his body behind it, realizing it will drop short, and to not save an extra 3 runs, he was able to stop that one with his body.
Yeah, Lewis putting his body on the line there and saving 3 runs indeed for his team.
Well, he stumped off a widest delivery, and that brings the end of the innings to a close. The Grenadine Divers, they are 107. They have completed their 10 overs at 107 for 7, just about 10 shy.
Yeah, I think getting the wicket of Asif Hooper would have saved them about 10 to 15 runs, the way Hooper was batting. But 107 on the board, I'm sure Grenadine Divers will still think that that's a total that they can defend as they go into the second innings. Right.
So as we see the Grenadine Divers, they had a very slow start, but quickly as Shembong, he was bowled by Lewis Cart Maloney for 1, and Ned, he did not really add to the tally. But that partnership between Hooper and Abraham is really what catapulted the innings. 52 from Captain Hooper from 27 deliveries, 42 from Abraham. They were the standout batsmen, and still a contribution from other batsmen. And in the bowling arena for the Hikers, the bowling, we see that the Hikers bowling. So as the dancers get into their rhythm, so the Grenadine Divers 107 of the 10 overs, and they were well restricted in the last over per se, and they will be somewhat of the most satisfied team going off in the first half year of the innings here at the Dream 11 VPL 3.0 edition. We will take a short break and come back live with the run chase, and will be interesting to see how the Hikers take it from here. So welcome back to the VPL Dream 11 3.2 edition here from the pictures Arnorsville in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Match number 16 is the Grenadine Divers, versus the Lots of Hikers, and just a change, an alteration in the voice here, in the capacity of a commentator. We have the president of the Cricket Association here, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Cricket Association, former Botanical Garden Rangers opener, Romel Currency. Romel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Morris. And good afternoon to all those wonderful people watching us here live at Arnorsville Playing Field for the third edition of the Dream 11 Vincy Premier League. Oh, what a day. A Saturday, bright and lovely, Morris. Lovely day for cricket.
Lovely day for cricket, and we have just seen the Grenadine Divers amass a total of 107 in your capacity as president. It will be something that you would like to see as part of the entertainment. Runs been put on the board.
Yeah, it was a lovely batting effort. I was really happy watching the way Captain Asif Hooper went about his business. I was also extremely happy the way Abraham batted. I thought he allowed Hooper to get himself in, because at the very start he would remember that Abraham was the one to have held the bull by its horn. So I was really happy to see that. I'm happy to see a total of 107. It'll be interesting to see how Lots of Hikers goes about it. I know on paper you can argue that they have the best batting lineup. They have proven it thus far, having won all their matches. So it's can't wait to see this chase.
Well, the Grenadine Divers would have been pegged back in the last 2 overs per se. Who do you believe would have been the better team going off? And knowing that the Lots of Hikers have a momentum in terms of their winning.
Well, knowing Asif Hooper, the captain, with a score of 107, I would like to believe that he would be backing himself. On the other hand, you have Desmond Maloney's team. They have not lost the game. They are an extremely confident team. So they themselves would be will be expecting to win the game. That's why it's a lovely game to watch today.
Well, the game is about to start, and the Grenadine Divers, we are seeing the momentum, the way they are jogging onto the field. They have a high expectation. It will be interesting because the bowling and the fielding, all these elements will have to come into play in order to restrict the undefeated Lots of Hikers and the defending champions so far.
Yeah, the divers really have to lift their game against these two batters. Salvin Brown and the captain, they have been phenomenal. They have been phenomenal throughout the whole entire life of the VPL, really. They have been dominant to the bat. They have been attacking. They don't give the bowlers a chance. With Salvin Brown, you can expect him to either kill or die, as you would say. Desmond Maloney will be a little bit more measured. He being a first-class player and has done extremely well over the last couple of years. So, but Asif Hooper, as I said before, he to me has a killer attitude. He's a player that doesn't give up, and you saw that in the way he batted. He was very passionate. When he got to that 50, oh my, he really celebrated. He really wanted everybody to say, hey, I am the man. I am Asif Hooper, and I'm here to give and perform well for my team.
Well, we will see Asif. He will take the opening attack from the administrative centre end. He will bowl to some of the uninformed Salvin Brown. And what approach do you think should be here from Salvins? He have not really tear off as we are accustomed to see from Salvin. So what do you think should be his approach? So he's off the mark.
Well, Morris, I can tell you, even though Salvan has not really come off since the start of the tournament, I was a bit surprised that he elected to stroke that ball and pick up a single, because we all know how he is here as a player. He's a no-nonsense. Either you get his wicket or he gets you. Simple as that.
Well, that brings Maloney, Desmond Maloney, into strike, captain of the Lots of Hikers. So the The blood flow will have to be one of singles for the Last of Free Hikers. We will somewhat at some point you will see some eruptive shot here. As there you go, the first wicket for the Last of Free Hikers goes. Maloney is stumped, bowled by Captain Asif Hooper.
I guess you have to say that's commentator's curse, because I was just harping on how more than likely you will see Desmond Maloney to play the more responsible role. I didn't think he had to do that, you know. I think he has enough ability to bat a couple balls, see himself in. They have enough firepower. He didn't need to do that, and I'm a little bit disappointed that he elected to go that way. But having said that, you know who has walked into the wicket now, a guy who has been in tremendous form. He is an up-and-coming first-class player of note, I should dare say. He has really stuck to the gun in terms of his batting. Dylan Douglas, he also bowls off-spin. He wasn't too successful today though, but he really is a beautiful prospect for the future.
And we always see that a fall of an early wicket seems not to deface Douglas by any way. He plays his raw cricket shot, he plays in his element, what he's accustomed to. So it will be interesting to see how he approaches this. Delivery teal off the edge, goes down to the third man region, and they scamper you for one. Dylan is off the mark.
An interesting stat here by the statistician. I was just being made aware of Dylan's 10-10 career. So far he has 25 matches, 602 runs at an average of 40.13 at a strike rate of 180. That says a lot.
Very healthy. Well, this one is straight as a pin, and it is deposited handsomely over the top, down the ground by Salvan Brown, 6 runs.
Oh, that was a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. And we have come to expect this from Salvan. You know he's not going to muck around for too long. he faced his first delivery, he got a single, and he said to himself, that was enough.
So a bit of mixed bag to this over. We see boundary, we see a 6. So at the end of the over, it's 8 for 1. 8 for 1. The Last of Free Hikers in pursuit of 108 for victory.
It's not bad going. All the Hikers need here from now is to just take time, realize that you have the ability, you have shown that, to overcome almost any score presented to you. And these two batsmen from us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we know the capabilities of these two players. So all they really need to do is just to play themselves in, get accustomed to the bounce and pace, because it might come easy to Dylan Douglas. He might think so, judging from the form that he is in, but he really needs to stay and make sure he guides his team home, given the fact that his captain is back in the hut. Dylan Douglas has to do it, and I believe he can, and I believe he will.
Well, that brings Abraham into the attack. We are accustomed to see for the Grenadine Divers. That's why he gets some space and he just punches it out to cover. So smart bowling from Abraham, he's bowling around the wicket, so he's kind of cramping Dylan for room. At delivery, one may have pitched just outside leg, loud appeal, and we really see the momentum or that energy is in the Grenadine Divers camp.
It's always going to be very difficult to get a batsman out from bowling right arm or wrong, and I think Abraham is running sufficiently wide of the crease to even negate the possibility.
Swing and a miss.
You would have to have a lot of turn, innit? I mean, because it's not sufficiently turning enough. It's a brand new ball. It's second over. So it's going to be very difficult, as I was saying before, for Abraham to get LBW, unless it's very full, of course.
Another delivery going across Dylan. Do you foresee this as a scoreboard pressure, or just because of the nature in which Dylan plays, he's looking to get the ball onto the bat?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be a scoreboard pressure because, like I said, he should know within himself that he has the capability. Even if he were to bat,
so he's looking for a second there, but Salvan is not that agile as he is as a young man.
yeah, that is what Dylan has to do. He has to bat a couple balls, get himself in. Salvan, nothing is going to stop Salvan from going for the big one. Nothing.
So for viewers who are watching, you're watching compelling cricket here at the Adamsville playing field. So it's end of the over number 2. Just one run coming from that over, a very good over for Abraham and for the Grenadine Divers. The last of three hikers in pursuit of 108, the defending champions, they're 9 for 1.
Yeah, Divers will be very, very pleased with that over by Abraham. I thought that he bowled some excellent lines. He frustrated Dylan Douglas enough to force him to practically say to himself, hey, I have to take a single, and he was successful in just conceding one run.
So Hooper continues, and he's dropped. Well, we will depend on the replay to see whether he jumped short or if it got to him. It appears to me there was a puff of dust just before that ball reached to him. Well, I believe he did got some hand to it. So Dylan is dropped, and he lived to see another day, something that the Grenadine Divers do not want at this time.
Yeah, it was really a difficult chance, to be fair. It was 50-50, one of those chances. Either you catch it or you don't. It was very, very difficult.
Well, so Dylan seemed to be struggling to get the ball onto the bat. He's some 2 runs from 8 balls. But we know that Dylan can capitalize at any time. So wide add to the total. As a batting partner to Dylan, what message would you have given him since he's not connecting as he would wish?
Well, it's difficult now, but it's only going to get better. You really have to consider who you have in the hut. These are the two of the 3 premier batsmen they have. So it's better him to be out there than another batsman.
So you get this one past the point fielder, just out to the fence, comes back for a second run. Takes the total to 12 for 1 in over number 3. Good bowling by Captain Hooper.
Yeah, he still is really up. He's 12 for 1. This is almost last ball in third over.
So from that shot, you see Dylan wants to get the ball onto the bat where he could pick up that momentum. And he wants to get all. He wants to touch all.
Well, that's the nature of T20. T10 cricket, or 10-10 cricket as we call it. You really have to get bat and ball. They're going at 4 runs and over. I don't think they're not yet in front of the black ball or the 8 ball. So they can really back themselves still, knowing the firepower that they do have.
So Abraham, final over of the power play. Salvan goes high and hard, handsomely, rope or no rope, it is 6.
That was a beautiful, beautiful shot by Salvan Brown. He was not going to stay for much longer. And I was talking about the run rate. They don't need to worry because in comparison, the Divers weren't so much ahead.
This one is beaten with the angle. This one is pulled over the fielder's head. a really keen competitive game is up here, and the divers would feel that they are in for a win, but the overs will depend after this. This one is wide and short, cut away, 4 runs to Dylan.
Yeah, that was really a bad ball, bad ball. It was a free hit, so to speak.
So much better over so far for the Lassafray Hikers. Some 11 runs so far. And then it goes high and hard over the top and down the ground. 6 runs. The Lassafray Hikers picking up a momentum.
Oh yes, Dylan, yes. That was there. That was really there to be hit. It fell right in his arc and he was able to dispatch that beautifully. I'm telling you, this fella can really play. I'm really looking forward to seeing him continue doing what he does best, which is hit that ball and hit it well.
This one is swept over square like for 6, a magnificent shot, and 6 more to the total. A good power play finish there to the Lassafray Hikers.
Oh my God, Dylan is really taking the mickey now. That was a beautifully executed shot. Had a little bit of risk there, taking it off the stump, but that's a shot of a man with a lot of confidence, and I'm so pleased to see him bat well.
And interestingly, that shot was going into the wind and it was deposited way over the rope. So at the end of the power play, the Lassafray Hikers, they are 35 for 1 with the loss of Maloney, the captain, and Brown, he's there on 14 from 7 deliveries, and Douglas is there on 20. So the Lassafray Hikers will find that they are somewhat in the more comfortable driving seat, as to say, and there you have Brown, Maloney. He went stumped by Grant and bowled by Hooper without scoring of just 2 deliveries. So a keen competition, just 1 extra to the total.
Yeah, well, the Hikers will feel that they are comfortably ahead. A comparison at the exact stage would show that divers were 24 for 2. Hikers now has just lost 1 wicket and they're 35 runs, a whole 11 runs of where the divers were. So they should feel pretty confident going into these last 6 overs.
So Brown comes into the attack, pulled to his brother Salvana, delivery that is peeled off the edge, evades the keeper somewhat in front of a first slip region, and it goes down the ground for 4.
Oh, Salvan probably tried to hit that in the airport. I know there must be some sibling rivalry. You saw when Salvan went down and he gestured at his brother to go back and bowl. Go back and bowl. You're bowling nothing according to Salvan.
Well, a bit of family banter, and you see Captain Hooper having a bit of convention there with his bowler. Thank you. So 39 for 1. Wide. So swing and a miss there by Brown. Salvan this time. You have to be meticulous in who you are talking of. So Salvan looking for a wide from the umpire.
Well, the Hikers really have to be careful here. The run rate is 12.18, not much. But a wicket here, we have seen how much damage wickets can do. We haven't really seen the middle order of the Hikers, so they haven't yet proven themselves. So far in the tournament, the top order has been doing the work, so they really have to watch what they do from here.
And Salvan will have to play with some caution because he's not in the best of nick as we're accustomed to see. He's 18 from 10, that's good. But a wicket here will bring Lewis, I believe, into the attack, into the strike. And Lewis really have not really seen much of an innings, but he have played 1 innings that is handsome. Another delivery, miss again. So Braxy Brown will feel he's getting the best of his brother, Salvan. So just 4 runs from his 4 deliveries. It will be welcomed by the Grenadine Divers.
You would expect to see Salvan to do something slightly different because he has been beaten for the last 3 balls. So he must do something different now.
Swing and a miss again.
Well, he tried to walk across slightly, but I think he's trying to hit it too hard. He's just aiming for one position, one place on the field. Those balls are outside off stump. There's lots of acreage on the offside, but Salvan being who he is, he has always been a predominantly leg side player.
Well, he's gone. A magnificent take there by Keeper Grant to dismiss Salvan Brown. Is a delivery that pitched just in line this time, not giving him that width. And there he goes, a magnificent take by Grant, and the Lassafra Hikers losing their 2nd wicket. Brown is back in the hut.
Yeah, this was just so beautiful. He was hit the very first ball, albeit it wasn't a convincing shot, but he went for 4. The next 4 deliveries, I believe it was. 4 deliveries, next 3 deliveries. Salvan played, missed, and the 4th delivery that he faced, after hitting the first 4, a wicket. That was just beautiful to watch.
And clearly that was pressure being added on to Salvan Brown, because the first delivery, as you rightly said, went for 4, and thereafter it was constant dot delivery. He had to do something, and I would have opted for a single instead to go for that rush shot, and that caused his demise. So with that shot, that brings Anthony Lewis to the crease, and the Lassafra Hikers, they are in pursuit of 108. They're 39 for 2 at the end of over number 5. So another Brown comes to the crease, Razin Brown. He will be bowling from the commentary booth end. Exciting day here for cricket. Remember, you could come out to watch the cricket live here at the Arnsville playing field if you're in St. Vincent. Come down and enjoy. Must swing and a miss there by Dylan. So it appears that the disease has passed on to Dylan as well.
Well, the Hikers need not to worry so much, because at the end of the 5th over, the Divers were 37 for 2. So technically they are 2 runs ahead of the Divers. They just need to bat them back long.
Well, this one is chopped. Yes. Oh, he's dropped it. He's dropped it. Damian Barnum, what have you done for the guys in blues? And whoa, they will really would have relished that opportunity to see the back of Dylan Douglas.
Oh, that was a big miss. That was a massive hit. Albeit it was hit terribly hard by Dylan Douglas. He really put a lot of energy behind that ball.
Good stroke there from Lewis to get off the mark. And a lot of animation in the field. You see Captain Hooper went to back up that one, calling his deep square leg fielder to come and back up. And the Lassafra Hikers, they will really need to settle themselves down and play the cricket that they are accustomed to in winning ways. Well, look at this drop opportunity there. Barnum will really want to see the back of Dylan after that jump catch.
Yeah. The run rate is climbing. The required run rate is climbing. It's now at 15 runs. But like I said before, they don't need to worry just yet. They have Dylan Douglas at the crease. They have Lewis, although he hasn't had much of a bat. But he is very capable, judging from what we've seen of him in the past.
Let's not forget that just about two match ago, Razin Brown, he had 2 for 9, and so far he's none for 5 in just 4 deliveries. Good bowling here for Razin, and compelling competitive cricket here at the Arnsville playing field in the VPL 3.0. hard. This one is, he pulled that one into the unprotected area of his leg, and that would have been painful for that with that shot. There you go.
Wow, that must hurt. That really had to hurt. I've had a few of that in my time, for sure.
And that would be
Definitely
very painful.
feeling it. Very painful. He would definitely be feeling it. I'll tell you what, it was around this stage of the divers innings where things really kicked on. Abraham and Asif, they really batted out.
Picked up a momentum.
They really got a momentum going, and they enjoyed themselves. Right, so it'll be very important here for the hikers that Dylan gets up and he gets up stronger. He has been missing a couple of late, but it is critically important. Their middle order and their lower order batting have not been tested as yet for the hikers. So it's important here now that they show what they have and they try as much as possible to intimidate all the other teams that will be gunning hard for their heads.
And it will be interesting to see, because we see that mid-conference by the Grenadine divers. So if you're just joining us, the Lasso Free Hikers, they're chasing 108. They are 44 for 2. Salvan Brown, he recently went, he was caught brilliantly by Brown, his brother, for 18. Desmond Maloney, he went not adding to the total for 2, and Douglas, he's there on 23, and Lewis, he's on 1. So we see Douglas now back onto his feet, and something that the hikers would really want to see.
Yeah, he has to start over. He has to just come off the strike and take a breath.
And what the Grenadine divers must be looking for now is the opportunity for run out, because I believe with that struck onto his foot, he will be somewhat maybe limping, because this could be very painful.
The required run rate is climbing. It's at over 15 now.
So that's the end of the over. Dot ball to finish. The Lasso Free Hikers, they're 44 for 2 in pursuit of 108.
Yeah, they really have to get going. They really must get going. Final 6 overs, as you said, in the pursuit of 100, over 100 runs. They're a little bit behind the 8 ball now. But
so the
good
bowling
thing for hikers, Dylan is still there. Lewis, like I said, he has some pedigree, so they should still feel confident going forward.
Well, Braxy Brown will continue to complete his second over. The Lasso Free Hikers really have to do some eruptive shots here, just as we're accustomed to see that they portray here. This time a delivery passing the outside edge. Loud appeal by the bowler was not accompanied by the keeper. So 90% of the time the reaction of the keeper says a lot.
Yeah, it's a deliberate plan I've noticed from Brown. He's keeping it not straight at all. He's keeping it just outside the half stump. And that is exactly how he bowled his brother and got his wicket. I love this bowling.
And there you go again. Swing and a miss. So the pressure is really telling on the Lasso Free Hikers. And it will be interesting to see how they approach, because there is a midfield conference here by Dylan and Lewis.
Well, they have to start playing a little bit more conventional cricket. So far, they've been just swinging for the leg.
So it's Camperture for 1, 45 for 2 in over number 7. Now, Romel, you have captained many teams, and what would have been your feeling? You have the Lasso Free Hikers in this position, 45 for 2, pursuing 108. What strategy? What would you be saying to your bowlers?
Well, I wouldn't be saying anything at all. They've been doing a magnificent job so far. The run rate is at 18 runs. I wouldn't be saying a single thing.
Swing and a miss by Dylan.
Brown is down. Brown is down.
Rosim Brown, he's down. I wonder if the heat is very, very hot. But I see him holding his he's holding his tie. He has 2 more deliveries left to complete his over. There you go. Well, some arm string maybe. So the Grenadine Divers, they will be in a more comfortable position. They have restricted the Las Vegas Hikers, one of the most eruptive team, the defending champions of the VPL 2.0. They are 45 for 2. Douglas is still there, 23 from 21 deliveries. Lewis is 2 from 4, and they are pursuing 108. As we see, Brown is back onto his feet. Something of a good sign for the Grenadine Divers. Just has 2 more deliveries to go.
Well, they have to target somebody. They really must. Like I said before, the run rate is almost at 19. It's 18.90. But one good over, as we have seen throughout the tournament, can really change the whole dynamic of a game. Just one good over. Right? Divers, of course, will be hoping to starve them as much as possible for runs. All the fielders in the infield are on the circle, so they don't mind so much the single. They're just here to protect the boundaries. As long as the hikers do not get boundaries, then the divers will be just fine. Everybody's on the edge of the circle.
So for viewers who wish to come to the game, remember you had to stay safe, you had to get a mask, sanitize, and we are still in a precarious position in terms of the pandemic. This time, down the ground, it's something that the Grenadine Divers will want, just the ones. As you see, a limping Brown.
Yeah, he doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. He's critical to this lineup. He's extremely critical to the Divers lineup.
He is, and very destructive in terms of his opening stand. Wide. See someone looking to finish the over.
Yeah, he just has to get you this last delivery. As long as he has done that, he would have done his job. He would have done a lot more than what was expected of him. Coming in and bowling, 12 delivery. This is his 12th delivery, 1 for 7. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
So it's chopped first. Pass was stopped there by the diving Barnum. Well, his brother was Shem who stopped that one. So end of over number 7. It's 48 for 2. The Las Vegas Hikers. They're in pursuit of 108. And Douglas is still there. Lewis, he's on 3 from 5. And that culminates the 2 overs allotted to Brown. And just 8 runs, 1 for 8 from his over. Very good cricket here at the Adamsville playing field by the Grenadine Divers so far.
Yeah, that spell was really a magnificent spell coming in the middle overs. Beauty. I think he would have done his job for the Divers. I think it's almost done and dusted here. The run rate now, the required run rate is 20 runs per over. So that means they require 60 runs plus 1 in order for them to win this game.
And at this stage, the Grenadine Divers, they were 74 for 2. And as we see, the plot still continues to be that off stump line, just wide outside the off stump. Now, if I was going to bat, I would have actually changed my guard or the batting position to a more like a middle and off stump. So you kind of asking the bowler to go a bit wider. And there you go, swing and a miss. Attempt for a run out and misses in that opportunity.
Yeah, he really has to get across. He must get across. He's pulling away way too much.
So some creativity in shots will be needed here. And that's a muscle shot out to the sweeper, and it goes straight into the cup hands, the bucket hands of Richie Richards and the last of the hikers. They are being silent and quieted just by the Grenadine divers.
Yeah, I think that was a nail in the coffin. That was really the nail in the coffin. Otney Lewis, he has gone for 3. He haven't faced 8 balls. He really didn't do himself justice at all. Especially when he considers the ability that he himself has. They're having to score now 24 runs per over from here on. It's done and dusted. It's done and dusted, Morris. I really can't see how they can come out from here.
Cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. I will leave it at that. But Benetton Stapleton now comes to the crease, and great cricket. And the Grenadine Divers, if they do go on to win this match, it will then open the tournament even wider.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were hoping for that.
Would you believe there are some hope for the Botanical Garden Rangers?
Let's deal with this game here, Morris. Let's deal with this game, man.
One shot pulled away to the mid-wicket region. It's excellent cricket by the Grenadine Divers. Great energy, great momentum coming into the game. They wanted to beat the last of the hikers, and they're really playing to that plan.
Yeah, it was obvious that there was a deliberate plan by Asif Hooper. The paces that came on the Brown brothers, the line at almost no point in time did you see them bowling at the stumps. They bowled wide of the crease, the batsmen.
Stapleton goes over short toward. It is peeling out to the boundary. A welcome boundary at this time by the last of the hikers. Benetton Stapleton is off the mark with a 4.
Yeah, Brown, they're trying to continue with that line and length, which has been working thus far. So I don't think there would be any need for him to try anything different. He just has to pull it back just a tad bit, and he would be just fine, in my opinion. The batsmen, you see, everybody's just hitting the leg. Their front foot is just going to leg, and they're not accessing the ball. That is the major problem.
So the batting stand of Stapleton tells you that he's going. He will go. So at the end of over number 8, the last of the hikers, they are 53 for 3, some 55 runs needed from 12 balls. How do you call it, Romel?
Well, you have to be blind if you can't see the obvious. 55 for 12, it's 27.5. Dylan hasn't been hitting the ball the way that we know him to be able to. Barnum, Douglas with Dylan is not Douglas, sorry. Stapleton is with Dylan. He hasn't had much of a bat since the start of a tournament, so you wouldn't expect fireworks from him. So it's really just a matter of closing this game out for the Divers.
So another Brum comes into the attack. Well, sorry, it's Dalzell, left arm medium pace. So Dalzell comes into the attack. And as you see, the schooling we will see here in St. Vincent from the skipper is to stick to the plan. We have already get them in a good position. So I will doubt that Hooper would even want this score to get close to 80. So there goes the plan to bowl wide of the crease, but this one is just a bit too wide. Confirmed there by umpire Greaves. Add one more to the total.
I can tell you what, the other teams will be watching the way the Divers have approached this innings. They'll be watching the way they have bowled at the hikers. This is critical.
Swing and a miss. And we've seen the energy of the Grenadine Divers. That is something that you would need. You're coming off 107 at the end of the first innings. And from the time they took the field in the second innings, they have always been marshalling troops, clapping and taking the odd fields and the catches. Seeing in there, could be taken, and he's dropped. He's dropped. Dylan is dropped a second time, and this time by Shembong. And boy,
Yeah.
in the context of the game, they would not really crucify him to see, but they would have preferred to see the back of Dylan in the hut.
Yeah, that really was cheese and bread right there. You couldn't have asked for anything better than that as a feeler.
Overconfident?
Yes. That was cheesecake. Cheesecake and more.
Maybe it was too sweet. Well, good bowling here by Dalzell. Douglas lived to see another day. So Stapleton pulls that one. Just written the confirmation. Goes for runs. And it would be interesting to see if the Lesser Free Hikers loses this game, how they would approach their matches going forward from here. Would they stick to the same strategy of batting and attacking to the other teams? And it's a powerful shot down the ground. And this could be close. Oh, a miss run out there. Had Dalzell collected that ball, he would have effected a run out of Stapleton, but a slight bubble there, and he was made to live another day, Stapleton.
Yeah, he would have been dead. Pretty much dead in the water.
Swing and a miss. A bit of frustration there by Douglas.
It really has been a forgettable innings, if I must say. A really forgettable innings for Douglas. 28 from 27 balls. Very much unlike Douglas. We all know how good he is with the bat at times, apparently.
So this one in there could be taken, dropping short of the third man, and is coming for one.
Well, we can safely say the Divers have won the match. The required run rate is 49 runs go over, so it's already done and dusted. It's just a matter of making sure that they have a good net run rate going forward for the Divers, and they want to ensure that they finish this game off well. The Hikers, they have 59. If they could get the Hikers to finish on anything below 70 in this last over, I'm sure they'll be very, very happy with that performance. It really has been a telling performance by the Divers, and I'm so happy for them because they really have worked hard. Captain Asif Hooper, as we've seen, he was very emotional after reaching 50 runs. He really had his heart into it. Abraham came to the party. Just a magnificent all-round performance by the Divers, and they really should be happy.
Well, the fans, they're really having a frenzy because there will be Salt and Breakers fans in the stand who will really relish the opportunity that the Lesser Free Hikers, they are losing a game, and it will be interesting to see how the tables turn from here on. And it is really interesting. Good competitive cricket here, and clearly it will say a lot about the competitive nature of cricket. Barnum comes into the attack. There is struck down the ground. Diving effort there by Hooper, but cannot stop that one. It goes into the fence. 4 runs to Douglas, 4 runs to the Lesser Free Hikers. This 63 for 3.
Yeah, that was fiercely struck. Fiercely struck. It would have always been difficult for us if there.
High and hard over the top. 6 more to the total. And really, is it too late?
Well, the run rate remains at 58.5. So I think that goes without saying.
Very good shot there by Douglas. Came down the track, met it on the bounce, and dispatches it over the point boundary for 6. Down the ground. Takes Douglas off the strike. And the 11 of 3 balls so far. Some 38 required from the next 3 deliveries. Can it be too late, or would it be some charm of miracle here for the Lassafray Hikers?
Come on, Morris, now, man. You're asking for a team to walk on water here. You're not asking for one man to walk. You're asking for an entire team to walk on water.
Well, we never know. It's a game of glorious uncertainties.
This is definitely not.
Well, swing, a diving effort there, and they get you for 1. So it should be all common sense bowling here to just put it up there and let the batsman do his thing and get the 2 ball out of the way.
There's 2 more balls. Douglas will want to maximize.
Bowl him! Bowl him! Douglas is bowled. Looking to heave that one over mid-wicket region, and haven't been struggling for his timing this time, a delivery that just tailed in just off the bat there, and it was castled, tumbling all over the place.
Yeah, that really did sum up the way his innings has gone so far, isn't it? He really struggled from the get-go. He was right there to be hit. He really should have deposited that way beyond the boundary. He has been in there from almost the inception, from the very first over. So he really should have done better with that. But the Hikers have, as we all know, they have this will be their only loss. So they don't need to be too disheartened by this loss. I think if it's anything, it's a teaching moment for them.
Well, this should be the last ball of the innings and the last ball of the match. The Lassafray Hikers in some quietude, something we will really relish at this time. Sylvan Spencer comes to the crease of his last delivery. A full delivery. So, there you have it. There you have it. It's the end of the game. And the Lassafray Hikers, they have lost. They are 72 for 4 at the end of their 10 overs. The Grenadine Divers have won and have put some rest to the Lassafray Hikers, something Vincy would really want to hear in terms of what is really happening in terms of the volcano. But in terms of cricket, the Lassafray Hikers, they have lost their first game.